What's up, y'all? I'm making this quick video to help somebody with a lift on their car. I'm gonna tell you what I went through. Might not work for you, might work for you. You might not be looking for the same thing that I'm looking for, but I'm just gonna tell you what I did and what I went through to get my lift in the front like I wanted it. Because I wanted it like a 3-inch lift for the front. Because I like this high front, low back. Because when I was young, we used to put cinder blocks in the car to give you that squatted look in the back. You know, we didn't call it a squat back in the day, but you know, it is what it is. But I wanted it lift on the front. I know a lot of people fading out or doing different style, but I'm just gonna make this video tell you what I done to make mine work. What I got is this universal car lift spindle. I think universal car lift and lift the brand. I think they got the same spindle. You know what I mean? To be honest about the spindle, it's kind of garbage, but I'm gonna tell you what I did to make it work. Cause I tried a lot of other stuff and I didn't like the way it was. But I got some custom made springs for it, 3-inch lift on the custom made spring. But when I put the springs in, they were so hard. And it was a company out of the Midwest, Custom Coil Spring Specialist or something like that. If you want the information, I can go look it up. I try to find a receipt for it to show people. But if you want the part, numbers and all that stuff, I find the receipt or the box or whatever, because I got it in storage. But they make custom springs to whatever car you want and whatever lift you want and stuff like that. Well, they made me a 3-inch lift. But, you know, when I got the springs back, they looked just like the one I put in, but it did have a lift. But it was so hard. They gave me a hard, rough ride, and I didn't like that. So I took the springs out. Then I went to the cup. I put the original springs back in, put the cup in there, and it did the same thing, gave me a rough, hard ride. Didn't like that. So I went back, put the original springs back in, cleaned them up, you know, did everything to them, sandblast them, but put them in. And what I did, I went back in storage because I bought this spindle and I got frustrated with it and I put it in storage, but I went back and get it. Because I ain't like how the people acted up the way I bought it from and all that. But I'm going to tell you what I did to make it work. So what I had to do to make it work was, first thing, in order to clear the sway bar, I had to notch it right here. I had to burn it right here. Now, it's made out of some good metal, so you can stand to do it. It ain't gonna hurt because it got a solid piece on the other side. See, the solid piece on the other side is still up right here. So it's still good. And plus, this is hard, so they told me I had to take the sway bar off. I didn't want to take the sway bar off. So what I did, we got a local welding shop. I just got them to burn it, you know, to cut the section out, notch it out, so I can clear the sway bar like this, like that. Go on the curb, dip, whatever the case may be, you know, clear the sway bar. So that's the first thing I had to do. The second thing I had to do was to, right here, right there, where the spindle stop it, the original factory spindle stop, it got a flat section right here. I had to trim that out so I can be able to clear the particular type of calipers I wanted to go on it. So in order for to swing this nut, I had to notch this section out, which the original style spindles, when they stop, they hit right here. So I really didn't lose nothing. I didn't want to take the whole thing out. So I just cut this flat section out, and that worked. So in order to make sure that I got the correct stopping distance, what I did was I took the original spindle, swung it around to the stop. I measured it from the end of the spindle to this, which I think it was like 3.5 inches. I took this spindle, swung it around, stopped it at 3.5 inches, and what I had to do is go in and weld me some stops in it. Let me see, can I put my finger on it? Right here. These are stops I had to weld in So when the spindle swing around, it would make contact right here. So I welded, there's a piece of angle. That's all it is, a piece of angle line. Welded it in, grind it, sand it, smooth it, put the other piece, block in, did both sides the same way. So now when I go around the curve, which you rarely ever hit it like that, but in case it goes all the way around, you got to stop for it. Okay. Then what I had to do was get some custom made brake lines. And these brake lines, I got those from Custom Brake Lines in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And you just call the guy, you tell him what kind of car you got. He already know what ends fit. And he just make them whatever length you want. Rubber, the stainless steel cables. Hoses. He'll make them whatever size you want. Just tell him whatever length you want. It's good for guys who do bikes too, because he can, whatever. So that's what oh yeah, and the other thing I had to do. With these calipers, it wouldn't work on this setup, this spindle on this, because the piston inside of the caliper is short. I think they put like maybe a 1/2 inch piston inside. And the way this spindle is made, it would get pushed all the way out, and you don't have any brakes. So in order to make it work, what I had to do is take the brake pad, the inside brake pad. I bought me, I think it was a 1/4 inch flat. It was like 1/4 inch by 2 inches wide. And what I did, I welded a plate on the back of the brake pad. So what it did was push the caliper back in the piston back in, only allowed to come out like a 1/4 inch. So therefore you got more brakes. You know what I mean? You got free more travel, I'm sorry. So, but what I did, I took a I think a 1/4 inch steel plate. I should have all this stuff with me when I was describing it, but 1/4 inch steel plate by 2 inches, and I welded it on outside on this pad right here. I just welded it, tack welded it. And the amount of time I'm gonna be driving this car is probably the first and last set of brake pads I put on this thing anyway. But that's what I had to do to give it more travel. Free up more space on the piston. I think the regular stock piston, I think they like 2 inches deep. Yeah, probably like 2 inches, I think, deep piston. But these, they do about 1 inch. They only have about 1 inch. So that's what I had to do to make it work. It works. It worked, and actually, I got my lift in the front that I like, and I got my smooth, soft ride. I still got my handling on the car. I didn't have to take nothing off it. But I'm gonna give you a piece of advice on these spindles. I got mine for universal car lift. If you call them, they'll tell you it bolts right on, which it does bolt right on to the upper and lower control arm. But the spindle's not gonna work with the sway bar. If you don't notch it, it's not gonna work with it. They tell you it will, but it won't. They'll tell you, call back, they say, take the sway bar off. Another thing, they'll tell you that your stock parts can fit on this spindle. You're supposed to be able to take everything off your car and put it on the spindle, but that don't work neither. End up have to get, like, I think all these parts for like a 74 Impala, 79 Cadillac DeVille. So when I ordered the bearings, the in and outer bearings, the rotors, I had to order for a 79 Cadillac DeVille. And I think, like I said, it's other B models that will fit it, but that's what I ordered. I keep that in mind. So when you get it, they're going to tell you it all fit, but it don't. So just be ready for that. This is the main thing about this universal car lift spindle, or this Lift the brand. I don't know about Lift the brand, but Universal, this is their warranty policy. So you know this before you buy it. Because they stuck me on it. So that's why I went and made it work. That's the only reason I made it work, because they were like $500. If you keep this spindle on the side past a week after you receive it, your warranty is void. You can't return it. So if you get it, you got to see if it's going to work off the top. But this is the catch for that. If you put it on your car within the week to see if it worked, right? If it don't work, you can't return it neither, because it's on the car. Once it goes on the car, it void all return. And that's a low life policy. You feel hustled and taken advantage of, to be honest with you, with the return policy, but that's how it works. So that's the main reason for this video. I just wanted to let everybody know about this thing. If you got it within the week, try it on your car. If it don't work, call them up, say, hey, the spindle don't work. They're going to ask you, did you put it on your car? You say, no, I did not put it on my car. Right? Had a friend that told me who did what they say it wouldn't work. Blah, blah, blah. You probably can get your money back like that or return it. But once you say, I put it on my car, even within a week, they're going to tell you, well, the warranty been voided. Once you put it on the car, it's yours. So that's the hustle they got. So like I said, I made it work. That's what I did. I just made it work. I didn't want to take my sway bar off. So like I said, I notched it. You can take a grinder with a cut it out. But the best to do is take a torch, burn it out, take a grinder, smooth it out, get it all taken care of. And then also, like I said, I ordered 20-inch line. These brake lines are 20 inches. That's all you really need for it. 20 inches, you can turn it like it is. So 20-inch brake lines. Got Fort Wayne custom brake lines. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Just call them up. Say, hey, I need some 25-inch brake lines. Whatever. What kind of car is it? He tell them. He ain't got to see no pictures, nothing. He know what brake ends to put on the lines. He custom make them. So that's good. I think they run like $40-something a piece. I think $44 a piece. And like I said, I welded a plate to the inside of the brake caliper. That gave it more space on the pistons, which it worked. And like I said, the stop in the back, the caliper stop. The spindle stop. Like I explained that. So if you do all them things like that and put it together, you can get your lift up front, get your smooth ride, factory ride with your original factory springs in it. You'll be able to keep your sway bar on it and everything like that. So any problems or any comments or anything got asked, just leave the comments. I usually try to answer all my comments, questions, people put it in, but I just want to tell somebody else about this thing because it's frustrated me to make it work, but I finally did. So appreciate you listening.